Hello, everybody. Hello, how are you? May 29th, 2020. Getting back on a bike. I haven't been on a bike in a very long time. Thought we'd do a bike vlog. Got the GoPro out. It's a sunny morning here in Columbus, Ohio. And it's supposed to rain. This is 7 o'clock in the morning right here, and it was supposed to start raining around 10. So the question is, in this situation, the question is, how far do I travel? Because, rain projections, like all weather projections, are subject to being wrong. And it could start raining at any time, especially if you're in the Midwest. Like I said, this is Columbus. They said it was just going to start raining at 10, but hey, it could start raining at any time, especially because you could see in the distance, that's the western horizon there. You can see the rain clouds forming. So, like, how far do I travel? Because I don't mind getting wet. That's not the deal. And the GoPro is waterproof, but you don't want to be riding, 30 minutes soaking wet. So the strategy then becomes, how close to home should I stay in case it starts to downpour? And as we'll see in this vlog, it actually got kind of dicey. So I'm on one of the city bikes. So in Columbus, Ohio, they've got city bikes. When I was in LA, I belonged to the city bikes. Joined the city bikes, and the reason I like the city bikes is, yes, you support the cause, I guess, but the problem with having a bike in the city is, I've had several bikes stolen from wherever I lived. In fact, I would buy them expecting them to get stolen. So here in Columbus, for example, I would go get bikes at the same place, and after a while, they were not after a while. I mean, a couple times it happened. I was exaggerating, but the guy was like, "You're back again?" I go, "I know, it got stolen." And well, he's like, "Well, you got to increase your security," which is true, but I didn't know. So the city bike strategy eliminates all of that problem. You just get on the city bike, you use it, and you take it back. Plus, I don't like really being out, all day on the bike. I mean, it's fun, but I got things to do. So, but the other problem is that I'm trying to address with the bike is that I don't know about you, but with this coronavirus, with this lockdown, I just got so fat. And I knew I was. The disappointing part of that is I was going to the gym every day. So for probably 6 months, 6 to 8 months, I'd have to look back. But for me, that's pretty good. And it was really helping. Now, I don't know. I'm not, I go to the gym and the person next to me is running 10 miles an hour for an hour. And then they get off and they do the bike. That is not me. I'm basically on the treadmill doing like a 4 mile per hour walk is what I was doing. But I would be up there for, hour. The whole thing was to spend an hour at the gym. So I started doing the treadmill for an hour, but then I got bored of that. So I started doing treadmill half an hour, and then I'd do elliptical, or I do weights depending on the day, but every day. And then the Rona hit. And it was funny because I was talking to the guy at the gym, one of the workers there, the day before they shut it all down nationwide. And I said, well, two things I said. I said, one, are you guys going to shut down? He said, well, there's really no word of that yet. And then the next day they were shut down. But the other thing I said to him, I said, when you're on the treadmill, they're usually at the back of the gym or, so, and they look, a lot of times they'll look over the other part of the gym. So you can kind of survey this scene. And you don't really think about it too much, but I started noticing that people were not wiping down the equipment. Because you're bored to tears. And I started watching people, and they work out, and then they would just leave the equipment without wiping it down. I'm like, oh. So I started wiping down. I'm not really a germaphobe, but maybe. I started wiping down the equipment before I used it and after I used it. But I was also mainly on the treadmill or elliptical anyway, so it wasn't a lot of work. Just wipe it down, then wipe it down again. No big deal. So I asked him, because I haven't been in the gym, I haven't been on the weights in a long time. So I said to him, well, what's the what do you call it, the etiquette, or what are you supposed to do when you lay down at the bench press and you put in and I'm talking on the machines, and you put in the weight that you want to use, you adjust the weight you want to use, and then you lift for 20 seconds or whatever it is, or that it takes you to lift your weights, your reps, a minute, 2 minutes, whatever it is. And then are you supposed to wipe down every time? Because I told him I'm wiping it down every time, like the whole machine, the bench, the handles, anything I touched. Is that what I should be doing? Because people aren't doing that. So am I, Dr. Germaphobe over here? And he said, no, that's what they should be doing. Just because I figured, you want the next person to have a clean machine, no matter what the deal, right? But so, once I started seeing all these people not wiping down the weight machines, and it wasn't 80%. It wasn't a huge number, but enough. You really start thinking, okay, all right, that's not good, because even if they just had a cough or a cold or something, you don't want to get sick from it. Now it's interesting because the gyms are going to be opening back up, or I think they already are in Ohio, and I don't know about LA, but I've been in Ohio for a couple weeks, so I'm not sure what's going on in California, but. The people that own the owners of my gym, they said, well, yeah, we're going to have social distancing in the gym. So like maybe instead of treadmills right next to each other, maybe every other treadmill will be operational. And we're also going to do a heightened effort at an increased effort at cleaning. Now, I have to say that I never thought they were slack on the cleaning. At least at my gym, they were always cleaning. They always had mostly young people that worked there, sometimes older like me, but people cleaning all the time. So I never really felt that it wasn't clean. Now, there's a few exceptions to that. Because I think some of them were franchises, and so you get a variety of, cleaning efforts depending on the owner. And I have a pretty good sample size of this because last year I drove across the country doing comedy for 3 months, 3 or 4 months, 3 months, I think. And So I went to the gym on the road every day. I went to the gym on the road. And so I've been to probably, 50 gyms or whatever it is of my gym chain across the country. And some of them are not the cleanest I've ever seen in my life. You go into the shower and there's, debris. There's empty shampoo bottles or, razor blades, wrapping from, whatever packages of products. And, you're like, oh, gross. And, that always just is like, golly, or stuff on the floor, like, like caps from shampoo bottles on the floor. And, a couple times I was in a town, like in Pittsburgh, I was there for a while. We were like a week or 2 weeks. And, so I went to the same gym several times. And I can remember a couple times going to a gym and, they hadn't cleaned it. They still had the empty shampoo bottle on the floor. I'm like, well, how long is this debris going to be in here? But of course, I would just move down to there's multiple showers. I would just find one that wasn't cluttered with litter. But it's more than that. It just gives you this creepy feeling that it hasn't been cleaned, so. But I didn't worry about that so much as sometimes, depending on where I was, the gym location that was most convenient to me was also the most dangerous. So you kind of had to evaluate, because especially when you're on the road, your stuff's in your car, or you lock it, but most locks are pretty easy to pick, or it's easy to snip. Most sort of padlocks. I guess I could have got a heavy duty lock or whatever, but I just had a regular lock you get at the store, get at the hardware store or home improvement store. So that's where you take a quick shower. You're like, I gotta get it in and out of here before somebody takes my stuff. Now, it's interesting. There's a guy, I saw it. I can't find it. I tried to find it again because it was really interesting. I read an article. This is a while back. This is before I did this comedy trip. I came across this article. I can't even remember where it was, but a guy went through the same thing. He was traveling, and he would go to the gym every day, and he didn't want to even put his stuff in a locked locker, because he was afraid it was going to be gone. And he didn't want to have to worry about it, or he was just super paranoid. I don't know. And this is actually a good idea. If you come to this situation, if you get into this situation, he went to this store and he bought these. If you remember in one of the Mission Impossibles when Tom Cruise was climbing the side of a building, and he had these suction cups, and he could just climb the building. So they make these handles that are basically giant suction cups with a handle. That people that move windows, that pick up windows, they use those. So they attach this suction cup. It's like 4 inches wide. And then it has a handle that then clips or moves into place. It creates a suction. So now it's locked solid onto the window. And then they can pick up the window a lot easier than just trying to carry up. You know what I mean? It gives them a handle for a window. And so this guy got those, and he would suction cup it to the side of to the wall of the shower. So he would take his entire bag of stuff, his duffel bag or whatever it is, in the shower. And then he would attach this, you can get them at Home Depot or Harbor Freight has them too. This suction cup handle thing. And then and it'll hold 40, 50 pounds. And then he would hang his bag from that handle. so that he would have all his stuff with him at all times. That was the main thing. Now he didn't change in there, like he didn't dry off and change inside the shower, but he had his stuff with him so that nobody would take it, because he said before he would either lock it, or before that he even would hang it on the shower on the hook outside the shower. But he was paranoid that he'd be in there, with the noise of the water and everything, and then that somebody could easily just lift his stuff and walk out. But the stuff that I would put in the locker was not, you know what I mean? It wasn't that valuable. So I would keep my phone when I went out into the gym. I'd keep my phone with me and my keys, right, and my wallet. And because I was just on the treadmill, I wasn't really moving from station to station. I was just, doing my walking, and then I'd get on the elliptical maybe. So it wasn't that hard to keep this stuff with me. Whereas I think if you're moving through the gym and really utilizing all the equipment, that would be kind of a hassle. But yeah. So when I just jump in the shower and take a quick shower and come back to the locker and stuff. So I don't know. I just got fat, is what I'm trying to say. That's what the message of this vlog is. I got fat. But it was really disappointing because it was really dropping. If you walk a day, an hour every day, you're going to lose some weight. Especially after 6-8 months, it started to really come off. And, I do like to eat. So, if you're just sitting around in the quarantine, things expand rapidly. And I went back to square one. So I thought, I was on this bike taking this trip here, and I just thought, gotta start all over. Starting all over. Now you say, well, why didn't you exercise during the quarantine? And you're right, I should have. It's a whole host of factors, but I couldn't. But I should have. And when I say I couldn't, what that means is I should have, I just didn't. Why didn't you? You got to do it, man. You got to do it. Just do it. Isn't that what they say in the ads? Just do it. So this bike right here was an attempt to, you can see how slow I'm going. I'm not you'll see like even this person coming the other way, you can see they're going much faster than I'm going, and you'll see on this video, they'll come blowing past like, boom. I'm like, oh man. So obviously I've got to increase the intensity, and it's not just the lack of activity. It's also the activity that I do. I need to be more intense about it. The intensity of your exercise, it plays a big role in what you get out of it. But I think I'm just lazy. So this trail here is right alongside, that's Ohio Stadium on the left. That's the football stadium. Yeah, you can see the edge of the stands there. So this trail is along the Olentangy River. And the Olentangy River runs through Ohio State University. So when you ride your bike or jog along this trail, you're going through Ohio State University. So here I'm heading back. I turned around, and the reason being, if you look to the right, you see the clouds are a lot darker. It started to sprinkle, and so I thought, man, if I get caught out here, I'm dead. Because it's still, 20 minutes away from where I started. So I just didn't want to ride through a downpour for 20 minutes. It's just too much of a hassle. And then you could get pneumonia, right? And then if you get pneumonia, you could not make it. And then you're like, oh, man, I didn't make it. I didn't make it. So I didn't want that. But mostly I just don't want to be soaking wet. Riding, there's something about being completely sopping with soaking wet. It's just like, oh, God. Water dripping from your hat. Water dripping from your, dripping everywhere. You're weighing another 50 pounds because of the wet clothes. So in this case, we're heading south on the trail, basically going back the way we came. And that's the river, the Olentangy River on the right. Now that river, it's interesting. It used to be just kind of a trickle from what you see there. Actually, you couldn't really see it too good there, but it used to be a lot less visible. It wasn't a trickle. That's an exaggeration, but it just was. The banks were much wider than where the water was. So what they did is they re-dredged it and made it so that the water flowed better. And that also helps the wildlife because the fish then have a more efficient ecosystem, as they said. I have no clue, but that's what. And therefore, the rest of the animals will have, a better place to live if the water flows better. And so they spent a lot of money and a lot of time to, and so now it's much wider, but it's also looks more like a river than it did before. Before it looked more like a meandering sort of big creek, which was its name. That was its name before. It was called Meandering Big Creek. And then somebody in the 1920s has said, hey, man, Meandering Big Creek isn't going to help attract tourism. So they called it Olentangy River Road, which is interesting because Olentangy is an old Indian word that means run on third down. Run on third down. All right, guys, this water on the lens is not going anywhere because the camera is essentially on my hat. So I didn't realize that the water had got on the lens. And it's just too annoying for me to have to put you through this. Unless you like this, like a psychedelic effect. But I'm going to end the vlog there. Come on back, guys. There's so much going on in this channel. I do all kinds of different things. And the reason being is because I have ADD. I can't just focus on, doing tech or doing video tips or things that people talk about. So I've got all kinds of really dumb comedy videos of a wide variety, but it makes me happy. Come on back. We'll see you then. Woo!